Hey, what's up guys? It's Matt. I'm doing my video on how to weave in the tails. So, here's the tools you will need. Little scissors, little tapestry needle, and obviously your work. Sorry about the focus shifting there. So I'm going to show you how to take these loose tails and weave them in so they are more or less invisible. I am using the 3-stitch lead. We all know the original scarf was actually just the new strand and the old were knit together for three stitches, but the 3-stitch lead is how many of us accomplish the same look without actually doing the knitting together. Okay, so I'm going to keep my work in a north-south orientation with the ridges, the color change going north to south. So the first thing we want to do is untie our knot, which I'm going to have to look at my actual hands and not the screen. Hold on. Okay, so I'm just going to gently work my needle in, and I've undone the first one, and then I go back through and undo the second one. Okay, so now we've got our two colors, and using the north-south orientation, our tan is south, the red is north. So you're going to want to take your south yarn north and your north yarn south. And I always like to go north first. So I'm going to put my thread in the needle. Okay, your first step, so basically all we're doing when you weave in your end is you're taking this line of tan and continuing it out to the edge of the scarf. As you see I've done here with the red, I took it all the way up to the edge, okay? So first thing we're going to do, and the focus may shift, and I apologize if it does. I'm going to try and keep it as steady as I can. So the first thing we're going to do is take our needle and go through this first loop of red and just pull that through. And that, pull it even so it's similar to the other stitches, and that's completed our first stitch, continuing upwards. Okay, so for the next part, we're actually going to go behind the yarn with our needle. Hold on, let me try and adjust this here. Man, that really looks... Okay, let's try this. So you're knitting, you see you've got, let's call these east and west stitches. So we're going to take our needles and go, I'm explaining this really poorly, I apologize. This outer loop of yarn comes down in a V through these two stitches. So we're going to take our needle and go behind those two strands of yarn that make up this western or eastern loop, sorry. And we're going to pull that through. So we've actually taken the yarn through to the front side of the scarf. If you look, we're actually in here right now. And then we pull that, and don't snug it crazy tight, just enough to make it even. Okay, so now we're going to go back through this loop that has our tan, the last stitch we did. Okay, and again, just make your tension even. Okay, and now we're going to complete our next stitch, and as you can see there's already red here, and what we're actually doing is just our next stitch is going to kind of lay right over top of the red. So there's actually two stitches there, our tan on top of the red underneath. Okay, and here again we're going to take our needle and go through the two pieces that make up this outer one. And again, I'm sorry, I'm good at doing things. I'm not always good at explaining them. And then we pull that through. Then we're going to come back, we're going to make our next tan stitch, and this is going to take us all the way to the edge of the scarf. Okay, there's two things you can do here. One is to come through this last stitch of red. Make that even. Okay. Now if you want, you can come back through here and do an outer loop there. It's going to make it thicker. What I like to do is to actually take it up or take it backwards into our first solid row of tan. And the way you do that is you see this first stitch here has the red and the tan. So instead of going up through the red, we're going on a slight diagonal through that first tan stitch and pull it even. So now as you see, we've completed our tan all the way up. And then just for safety, because I like it to have no chance of it ever coming undone, I'm going to come down, complete that loop, and then here I'm going to go, my needle's going to go just behind the tan. So again, the needle's actually come to the other side of the work. Cinch it up. One more through and down. Okay, and then you just make it even. So the tan is done. Focus. Now we're going to do the red. As soon as I get it. Okay. So now with the tan, the first thing we did is to complete a loop to go up. With the red, the first thing we're going to do is go through the back of the scarf, because obviously you can't complete a loop this way because you'd be crossing over yourself to do it. So the first thing we're doing is taking it behind, make it even. And then we come through the stitch of tan. And now all we're doing is we're just following our loops. We're putting red right over top of red. And I like to do 4 stitches. Go behind and then come through, taking red over top of red. Pull it even. Red over top of red. And it is important to get your tension accurate before you block it, because blocking will not pull it tight. Like if you weave in your ends too loose, thinking that blocking will cinch it up, it won't. It'll block loose. Okay, there's my stitches. I got 4 down this way. Here I've come up to the edge and back with 2 just for extra security. And then snip off the ends, leaving about an inch or so until after you block it, because if you cut them off and then block it, they will pop back out. Anyway, that's it. If this video was crazy hard to see or didn't make sense, just tell me and I'll do another one. I've got lots more. Thanks, guys.